Hello children and welcome to Brilliance Online Edu Classes. Today I am here with a prose from Class 12 English textbook Vistas. The name of the prose is The Enemy, written by Pearl S. Buck. So children, let's see what is the theme of this prose. This prose shows a tug of war between two qualities. One is nationality and the other one is humanity. Now children, as we all know that both the qualities, whether it is nationality or humanity, both the qualities are said to be positive qualities, right? These both are virtues. When you talk about taking your nation to be everything, that is a good quality. But children, if I talk about humanity, then that is the best quality. Why? Because when Almighty made us, He did not make any differentiation. These all national boundaries, the cartographers, they have made the maps giving shapes and borders to the country. These are all man-made. God has not done anything as such. So humanity is always above all other qualities, and this is what is beautifully displayed in this story. So let us see the historical background of the story. This story is basically dealing with the time of the Second World War, right? Second World War initiated by Germans under the leadership of Hitler. During that World War, you all have read in class 10th that Japan was fighting with with Germany, means not against. Japan was on the side of Germany, right? And US was actually not getting involved in the war. But when Japan attacked one of the British ship in which there were a lot of Americans who died, then US entered war just to take revenge from Japan. So the main target of US was Japan, and that is the reason we all read about the bomb dropped at Hiroshima, Nagasaki by the US. So it's all because of that. So that conflict between US and Japan and that war time is the historical background of the story. Children, the central character of the story is Sadao. Okay. So before we see to what happened to Sadao, so let us see and who was Sadao. Let us see what is written about his childhood. So Sadao enjoyed at the beach with his father, right? So Sadao used to go to the beach with his father when he was a child, and he used to enjoy. His father's concern for his education. So his father was very much concerned about the education of his son, and that is the reason he sent him to America to become a surgeon. In America, Sadao met Hannah. They fell in love with each other, but until and unless the father agreed to, and father also agreed because Hannah was a Japanese girl, then only they both got married, right? This point is given just to tell us that it is not that the quality of nationality was lacking in his family, not at all. His father was a nationalist, right? The father used to show him the islands that were visible from the shore, and he used to tell Sadao that these islands will make a change in the history of Japan one day. At that time, Sadao never understood that what is the meaning of this, how these islands would change the history. Okay. Then with these memories, Sadao grew up, and then let us see more about what happened when he grew up. He went to America and he became a surgeon. Till here we read, right? So now let us know more about Dr. Sadao Hockey. So Sadao Hockey was a dedicated surgeon, doctor, compassionate and kind towards people. So he was basically a kind surgeon. Okay. He was also a scientist because he had developed a unique way of healing wound in such a manner that even the scar won't be left. Okay. This person because of his passion for sea from the childhood, he built a house on the seashore. One evening he was standing at the balcony. His wife also came and stood with him, and suddenly they saw that a man was coming from the shore side, and the man walked a little, that too in a staggered manner, and the man fell down. These two, they rushed towards him, and they found that this man was a US soldier, right? Hardly 17, a young man. He was from the US Navy. He was badly tortured. He was a prisoner of war. He was badly tortured, and he was also shot. Okay, and he was about to die. Now, the doctor felt that there is a problem. He felt himself in a dilemma between, as a Japanese, he should hand him over to the army. That is what nationality demands. But his humanity and profession demanded something else. So finally, he gave importance to humanity. He sheltered the enemy. He saved his life. Then, to take up the next virtue of nationality, with loyalty, he informed the general of the army. Now, at that time, the general of the army was very sick, and he wanted Dr. Sadao because he was the best. So, in other situation, the general might have punished him for saving this man, but that time he never wanted to lose Dr. Sadao. So, general said, don't worry, I will take care. I'll send private assassins, that is killers, and they will take care. So, Sadao waited for 3 days, 3 nights actually. Nobody came, and then Sadao helped the white man to escape. So again he gave preference to humanity. Okay, so this is about Dr. Sadao. Then about Henna. Henna was Dr. Sadao's wife. She was a very responsible lady. She used to behave with her servants in a very dignified and graceful manner. She had complete trust and excessive love for her husband, and so she helped him in the operation also. She administered the anesthesia to the prisoner, though she did not have any experience, but still she did it because her husband wanted her to do so. The other two characters are the American soldier who was hardly 17, right? His name was Tom. He escaped from being the prisoner of war, and he was shot and wounded. He lay unconscious, full of gratitude towards Dr. Sadao because he was the one who saved his life. About the general, I have already discussed. He was quite selfish by nature. He used to think about his treatment. He had faith in Sadao. He promised to send private assassins to get rid of the prisoner, but he forgot to send assassins because he was very much occupied in his own suffering. It is not that he was not nationalist, but when a person is suffering at that point, it's very difficult to focus on something else. So these are the two more characters. Then children, there are certain things that we have to keep in notice. Reaction of the servants. They did not agree with the idea of helping an enemy. They didn't like that the master was helping an enemy. The gardener felt that Sadao should have let the soldier die. Right? Why did he go to save? Sea and gods would take revenge if Sadao saved the soldier. So they believe that if God is against him, all the gods are against him, if the sea is against him, then why he is trying to save? Because these powers will then take revenge. They considered Sadao to be proud and irresponsible. So they felt that maybe Sadao is a very proud doctor. They left the house till the time the prisoner stayed there. So they left the house, but when the prisoner went off, they again came back. But they didn't inform anybody regarding the doctor because they used to love their master. So they didn't want him to be in problem, because if he is declared traitor, then even the children their life will be spoiled. Throughout life they will be called as traitors' children. So they didn't inform anyone, but they left the house and came back when the prisoner left. Okay, now how did Sadao help the soldier to escape? So when the assassins didn't come, Sadao had a boat. So he kept food and extra clothing in the boat. He told the prisoner that you go to the island, the same islands which his father used to show. He told him to wait there because some or other Korean fishing boat will come. You can take help from them and you can move away from here. He gave a flashlight to him and told that if at all you need food, you will flash the torch twice, and if you are all right, then one flash, and if no flash, I'll understand that you have left the place. Okay, so children, this is how the story ends, wherein a doctor finds himself in a dilemma whether to support nationality or humanity, right? And he took up humanity. So the most often asked question is on this big concept, that is, humanity wins over patriotism. Elucidate the statement with reference to this lesson. So children, as I say always, question can be drafted in any of the way, but mostly the most often asked concept is this concept. Right children? So now you read the lesson properly and I am sure you will be able to understand it in a much better way. Thank you children.